watched Evil Dead Burn. Let's talk about it. Evil Dead Burn is a 2026 supernatural horror film. It's the 6th entry in the Evil Dead franchise. I love the Evil Dead movies. It's directed by Sebastian Venikek and produced by Sam Raimi. It's got a runtime of 1 hour and 51 minutes. Let's talk about it. Now, before we get into this, I love the Evil Dead movies. I watched the Evil Dead movies for the first time a couple years ago during Halloween time with my good friend Ian. It has now become an annual tradition that we watch all of the Evil Dead movies around Halloween time. And so because of that, I always get excited when a new Evil Dead comes out, even though I do personally think by this point, maybe it's getting drug out a little bit, but let's get into it. So, almost all of the Evil Dead movies are paced like extremely well. There's usually a very short, slow burning candle at the very end before it's a giant stick of dynamite. You know, it's a little tiny build up and then holy shit, what the fuck throughout the entire movie. And it was kind of the same here, I'd say. This was another very eventful Evil Dead movie, and with that said, it was another very well-paced movie. It flew by pretty quickly, and I think that there's a lot. I think it's because there was a lot going on. I'm gonna put some of the people up on screen here. We had a great cast of actors, great cast of actresses. Not the most memorable group of characters, I would say, but again, this is a horror movie. One thing that I do like is that they went a little more with the characters, is that they tried to involve the characters' personal stories into the story a little bit, and I think it worked well. I think it was okay. And unless I'm stupid and I don't think that happens a lot in the previous Evil Dead movies, and so it's nice for a little bit of a twist. And because of that, you can maybe even find these characters slightly relatable, because like I said, they do kind of talk about some issues that people have in a normal life when they're not accidentally summoning demons from an evil book. Now, the visuals were absolutely crazy in this movie. There were a lot of pretty cool shots. There were some pretty cool locations, but the thing that stood out to me the most is that there are these super snappy shots that would zoom in on scary, like tension building objects like steam and sharp objects, or like a dog whining, or like somebody wiping the sweat from their brow. If you guys have ever seen Final Destination, it does that. But it really good. It builds up this sense of tension. It was like, oh my God, something's about to happen. You just don't know when or what it's gonna be because it's showed so much. And yeah, also, it's an Evil Dead movie. This movie's extremely gory. They stayed true to their use of practical effects. If there is CGI, it's really damn good, and there's not a lot of it because everything looks pretty good. And I feel like a lot of, especially horror movie enthusiasts, can tell when it's CGI anything. I think a lot of movie enthusiasts can tell when something's CGI or if something's practical effects. And me personally, I think things can look really amazing when you do a good combination of the both. Just don't have one drown out the other. Usually it's the special effects drowning out the practical. But yeah, lots of gore. There are lots of scenes that made me go, oh, what the? You know, but yeah, builds up a lot of tension, and I really love that. Let's talk about scares and the comedy. And we're going to be talking about both of them together for a reason. People that have seen the original Evil Dead movie know that it is a very strange mixture of horror and comedy. But it works really well together. You know, they live in a very perfect parallel with one another, and I think they work off one another very good in the first, 3 movies. The 2013 remake takes a slightly different approach. They are much more serious. Now, there are some pretty weird, crazy, quotes from the Deadites that are said, one in particular that I quote a lot to my buddy. But yeah, there's a lot less comedy. This one, they brought a little bit more back. But I still think that it was very lackluster compared to the originals. I think that the wacky comedy silliness of the Evil Dead movies, the first ones, is what gives it like its charm. And I don't think it necessarily needs to keep that all the time. But when it loses it completely, and if it loses it too much or too many movies, it's just gonna become another horror movie. You know, I feel like. And that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm stupid. You guys let me know in the comments if you think I'm an idiot, and if they could go down a more serious route forever, maybe they could. But you know, I don't know. Prove me wrong. Let me know down in the comments. I'd like to know your opinions. But the horror was there. It was very creepy. There were a few jump scares actually that got me. But yeah, just not so much for the silliness that I like from the first Evil Dead movie. I will say though that there was one reoccurring joke in this one that was really funny, and I really hope that lady gets her money back. That's all I've got to say. Soundtrack was pretty good. It was dark, gritty, guttural, sounding, you know, creepy. It was good. There was one track that stood out a little bit. I was like, this sounds really interesting, in a good way. Not much to say about the soundtrack. And the sound design as well. Very gritty, crunchy, gory, mushy, chunky crunch of people getting their heads smashed in. It's an Evil Dead movie. It's nasty. It's gory. You hear people getting crushed to death. It sounds good. Sounds good. Drum roll, please. Now for the big answer. Did Scooter Booter like this movie? Yes. I do think that it's one of the worst ones in the franchise, though. But that does not mean that it's a bad movie. I think that kind of like Toy Story. Toy Story, every single movie is a banger. These movies, all of the Evil Dead movies, are at least like good. You know, they're all at least like good. And I think that this is another example of a franchise where it's like, yeah, you can watch all of them and they're all pretty decent. Would I go see this again? Yes, and I will be watching it again. I'm going to watch it again this Halloween in a couple months. I'm going to watch it when we do our Evil Dead marathon. I think it's deserving. I'd like to show it to my buddy Ian. He wasn't able to go see it with me, unfortunately. But yeah, I would recommend this movie highly to fans of horror and the Evil Dead franchise. I would highly recommend go see this movie with a friend or go see it by yourself, you know. I just think this movie has a good reaction meter with friends. So, well, that's going to be it for this super awesome movie review. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you guys would like to be notified when I upload videos, drop a subscribe and turn on post notifications. It's free to do. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Lets me know that I did a good job on this video, and it lets me see what type of content you guys like to see most. Let's chat down in the comments. Let me know if you had a different opinion. Let me know if you disagreed with what I said in the video. Let me know if there's any movies you're going to be seeing this week or in the next couple months. Let me know. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to talk to you guys about movies in the comments. Let's chat. All my socials will be down in the description. Don't forget, check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/scooter_booter_, where I live stream almost every single day. We are doing an Assassin's Creed marathon, playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty Black Ops 1, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. We're playing Skyrim. We're doing a lot of stuff. We play different games every day, but we've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. Or if you're more of a social media type person, gal, pal, check out my Instagram. Oh, excuse me, Jesus Lord. Check out my Instagram, where I post pictures and videos of my little adventures, and you guys can see little sneak peeks of what's to come in the monthly vlogs. All these things I just talked about, along with any of the music I use in this video, will be down in the description below. Go check it out. And if there's anything that you saw in this video or that I talked about that you'd like to talk about in one of your own, please feel free. Just don't forget to credit me. Don't forget, YouTube is a community, not a competition. Let's help each other out and have fun doing so. That's going to be it for today's video. Again, I hope you guys have a good day. Stay cool. Stay hip. Stay radical. That's going to be it for me. Scooter out. Noggin.